In this video, I'm going to cover cropping and rotating. So when we edit images, uh, over on the right side, we have a variety of different tools. And one of those things happens to be the thing that we're going to use for cropping and rotating. And we can see that it's got two angles here representing cropping things down or widening it up. And then it's got two little rotations. So when we click that, it gives you a couple of options. We can choose the aspect ratio, and right now we have it as original, but we can change it to as shot. We can do a custom one, and we can choose specific ones. Like if we want a 1:1 ratio, we can see that it's made it into a square, and we could even change it to 8.5 by 11. And so we can get it to printing at standard paper size or a variety of other different edits. We can change the size by clicking and moving the bounding box corners. And you can see that I can also click the image as a whole and move it around so I can get this into kind of a close cut rule of thirds because using this rule of thirds grid here. I can also, I'll zoom in so you can see the change, over on the corner, if I hover over the edge, notice how my cursor turns from stretching the canvas to tilting it. And that'll allow me to tilt this a little bit, just in case I want to get something very even, like maybe I want the eyes to be completely even with this like angle. And I think that could work out really well. Something to take note of is that notice how when I'm resizing this, it stays like set to a specific size. That's because over in my aspect ratio, I have it locked. If I unlock it, that'll give me more free range to stretch it and warp it however I want. It's a good idea to stick to one of these more standard sizes so that things don't get too awkward. But there's a lot of possibility of things that you want to create, depending on how you do things. The next little things are over on the bottom. We have our 90-degree rotates if you want to rotate beyond more than just little adjustments. And we have our mirroring. We can mirror horizontal or we can mirror vertical. And if you hover over it, it tells you what their names are as well as what the quick key is if you want to start memorizing those. So we can see that maybe I want to rotate this downward, and maybe I don't want that angle and I want to flip it horizontally. Actually, I liked the original angle that I had it at, but we can see that I really didn't know how much I liked it until I flipped it around. Again, as we click off of that settings, notice how it crops into it. But Lightroom being Lightroom, if I go back to the cropping, we can always see what the original was. And if I move to another photo, do some edits here, and then go back to the photo that I was editing, Lightroom remembers what those edits were. So we can see there's still the original back there. And if I decide that that's not what I wanted at all, then I can use Shift R to have it reset back to the original picture. But you can see how it removed some of the other edits that I did in a different in my general edits. But possibilities if you push yourself too far. So that is using the cropping and rotation tool.